Your daily dose of sports and fun. This is the Morning Drive Podcast from Double T 97.3, presented by Cantex Roofing and Construction.
I'm Mike Hebert, owner of Cantex Roofing and Construction. Every day is game day, and we'll get it right when it comes to your roofing, construction, windows, and mirrors. Call Cantex Roofing and Construction today. Together, we are one serving you.
Marquise points out on the Yates Flooring Center chat line that Braylon Lux has signed a free agent deal with Cincinnati. So that's good news. We get this. Taj should not have been the sixth best Big 12 back in terms of the draft.
Yeah, I don't think Taj was the sixth best Big 12 back. I just, I think you have to look at it as how does he fit in the NFL. Mm-hmm. I would agree with the texter. I surely don't think he was the sixth best. I think he was much higher than that.
Yeah.
But how does his style fit in the NFL, and will it work, and what teams are needing, and all the above. So, and I'm not here to tell you that I don't think Taj has a chance to have a good career in the NFL. I just don't know.
Yeah. There were some that wanted him picked by the Cowboys. Of course, just Cowboy fans would have liked to have seen a Red Raider go to the Cowboys. Sure. Mm-hmm. That makes some sense, and it didn't.
Plus, they have a need.
Yeah, they have a need, right? And they picked the back. They just picked the Texas back. All right, Jamie. I'll be curious to see if the university announces anything official on this. I think it's been acknowledged to a degree, but Micah Hudson announcing on X that he is coming home to Texas Tech. His post yesterday, Red Raider Nation, Lubbock has always been home. Which is, okay, not totally true. I mean, because you've only been here a short time, right? Because, home is where you're from, right? So I'm not being critical. It's just when you say always has always been home, just not true. And I'm forever grateful to the coaching staff, teammates, and fans who make that possible. I'm back to finish what I started. This experience taught me a lot about myself and what it truly means to be a part of the Texas Tech family. God bless. Reckham, Micah Hudson. So I guess he's back.
Sounds like it. I mean, either that or he's a liar.
Yeah. And I don't think there's going to be any bells and whistles from the university. Do you? In terms of,
I have no clue. No clue.
And maybe there might be at least an acknowledgement that he's going to be on the roster. But it sounds like he's made amends with the coaching staff and his teammates.
Otherwise, Joey McGuire wouldn't let him back on the team.
Yeah. I mean, and I am all for second chances.
I find myself rooting very hard for him.
Because
again, I feel like whatever happened at the end of last football season and his decision to leave, whether he was getting, pressure to do it from other people or whatever. Because all you heard all season long was that he was happy here and that he, understood what was going on and through the process and was not upset and all the above. And then suddenly that changed. So whatever happened, it feels like he must have had to come to Coach McGuire and or his position coach and or his teammates kind of with his tail between his legs.
Sure.
And he had so many people, whether it be at that age or whether it be grown adults, would take the easy way out and just head somewhere else.
Yeah.
And the fact that he wanted to be back here says that's the kind of kid that I want to root for. And so I will definitely be pulling for him. I do, just like last year, don't want him to be given any special treatment or because he was a 5-star at one point or all of a sudden he should get all the reps because he's a 5-star. I do not suggest that at all. But I don't know. I just think the character side of it here, the interesting part here is that he's kind of admitting fault and not running and hiding from it. And so I find myself rooting for him big time.
Yeah, and
plus he punched the Aggie quarterback in the face. So that, I think is awesome.
that endears him. No question. I mean, he's. I mean, it would have been easy to go to Utah. It would have been easy to go to any place else.
I'm sure he had other opportunities.
Yeah, and I'm sure you could use him too.
I would think so.
Yeah,
I would think so. I mean, he was a 5-star, and maybe he didn't play like a 5-star last year, but I think we all could see that the potential was there. You know, a Division I athlete and all those things, and so hopefully he's matured in that way, and we'll see him make a bigger impact than he did last year.
Yeah, because like you said, I mean, it would have been easy for him to go somewhere else and not have to face the music, so to speak. Sounds like he's done that, and sounds like he's made amends. And so, we all make mistakes when we're young. Heck, we make mistakes when we're adults, and even past adults. Senior adults make mistakes all the time. Teenagers make mistakes. So if you can make amends and go back and fix it, then good on you. And good on you for the people that allowed him the opportunity to fix it too, because you don't know everything that transpired inside that locker room or with that coaching staff. Now you got a new offensive coordinator and some new coaches, so maybe that helps a little bit. But the head coach is still there, and he remembers. Somebody asked this: "Do you have any concerns about all the extra nonsense that became very public in his NIL negotiation with A&M?" I don't know how much of that was true or not true. I think you have to look at the fact that for whatever happened, the past is a bucket of ashes. Sometimes you have to think of that. You can forgive and not forget, or you can not forget and not forgive too. So you have that too. So I kind of feel like that if he's passed muster with the team and the organization and the head coach and his support staff and all that kind of stuff, I mean, I'm sure it's not going to be just a bed of roses, because now they get, and now too, the other thing is that you get to coach him hard too. Like, hey, you wanted to be here. This is what it takes in order for you to contribute.
Yeah, and I don't know that was a problem before. Yeah.
So there you go. So he's joined the fray of Texas Tech. So that's that I think is good news for the Red Raiders, and certain that they can. I'm certain that they can use him. They also picked up a center over the weekend. It feels like every time you feel like the roster's done, it's not done. The Red Raiders announced the signing of Cash Cleveland. He comes to Texas Tech from Colorado. He earned freshman All-America honors this past season by multiple publications, and he got a big start against the Red Raiders in playing in that game here for Colorado. So
an appropriate name.
in today's world, yeah.
In today's world of college sports.
Joey McGuire said this in the release: the opportunity to bring in a talented young offensive lineman like Cash only adds to the depth we've built up front. We project him at being able to play either guard spots and, of course, center at a high level. We look forward to getting him on campus this summer and adding him to our culture. Okay. Became the first true freshman walk-on to start at center for Colorado in school history.
The Morning Drive podcast from Double T 97.3 is presented by Cantex Roofing and Construction.
For this day in sports history, on this 28th day of April 2025, it's brought to you by Lubbock Men's Clinic. And with that, here is Jeff McGuire.
Starting in 1956, Cincinnati Reds outfielder Frank Robinson hits home run number 1 of his career.
Man, he was a great player.
And 585 more later.
Yeah, and he was a soft-spoken guy too. I think he was your kind of player, Jamie. I mean, in that he just, what he did on the field, he did on the field, and even as a manager, he just kind of took care of his business and made sure his team took care of their business.
I like it.
1961, Milwaukee Braves future Hall of Fame pitcher Warren Spahn throws his second career no-hitter, beats the Giants 1-0 at County Stadium. 1987 NFL Draft, University of Miami quarterback Vinny Testaverde, also known as a Red Raider dad, first pick by the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
That was such an interesting era.
It was.
2013, Mason Randolph goes 1 for 7 And, Mason Randolph is one of 7 Red Raider multi-hit batters in a 15-hit game as he goes 2 for 3 on the road to beat number 11 Oklahoma 9-3. 2016 NFL Draft, Cal quarterback Jared Goff, first pick by the Los Angeles Rams.
I think that worked out for him.
Yeah, he took him to a Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Ultimately led him to a trade that, got them back to the Super Bowl. So, yeah, I would say that worked out for him.
Happy National Blueberry Pie Day.
Blueberry muffin, yeah. Blueberries on pancakes, yeah, or waffles. I don't know that I've ever had blueberry pie. You always heard about blueberry pie on the Andy Griffith Show. Aunt Bee would make blueberry pie. Blueberry pie?
I've never had it before. I've never even seen anybody make it before.
I'm with you on that, too. I'm with you on that as well.
Jessica Alba, 44. Penelope Cruz, 51. Jay Leno, 75. Bridget Monahan, 54. Barry Larkin, 61. And Blake Bortles is 33.
Is he still playing college football?
At 33, doubt it. Especially since he had that whole NFL career for a while.
I was just fun, and I was just kidding.
Okay. Oh, sorry.
He wasn't one of those guys that was super old, was he?
I thought he was, but maybe I'm wrong about that.
Either of you guys going on a boat
today? No.
Good idea. 1789. 3 weeks into their journey from Tahiti to the West Indies on the HMS Bounty, it's seized by Fletcher Christian. The master's mate, Captain William Bligh, and 18 of his loyal supporters were set adrift in a small open boat, and the Bounty was set course for an island south of Tahiti. Oddly enough, everybody made it back to land. How great was Captain Bligh? This was one of 3 mutinies he was a part of. Or I should say a victim of. And that's this day in sports history.
Captain Bligh. Okay. Let's see. Just a quick little Google of Blake Bortles. He played for UCF. That was okay. Let's see if he played for. Well, he only played 4 years, so it just seemed like it was longer. His professional career was started in 2014 with the Jaguars, like you said, and let's see when he done. Played for the Broncos, the Rams, Packers, Saints. Maybe that's it. Maybe just the number of different teams that he played for.
Bounced around a little bit.
Yeah, bounced around a little bit, and he retired in October of 2022. Okay. All right. I thought this was really, really cool, Jamie. This took place over the weekend when they were introducing Cam Ward to the Tennessee media. He was the number 1 pick overall in the NFL draft. And then, out of the side room came Warren Moon holding his number 1 jersey and basically saying to Cam Ward, "Go ahead, you can wear it too." And
that's pretty cool.
It was really cool. Really, it was just a really cool scene. Now that's juxtaposed with Lawrence Taylor, who declined the use of his number 56 to the Giants' number 1 draft choice. And he basically wanted him to make his own number. In other words, he said, go make history with another number. Go make history with 00. Go make history with... And he wasn't trying to be mean to him. I wasn't trying to disparage him in any way, but just felt like that he needed to make history with his own number as opposed to with his number.
So help me out here. So is Warren Moon's number 1 retired by the Tennessee Titans?
It's by the organization, but he played for the Houston Oilers, right?
I don't even know what to think about that.
Okay. Yeah.
I mean, I like how Warren handled it. I don't hate how LT handled it.
I don't either.
If some organization retired my jersey number, I mean, again, I'm fine with how both guys handled it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think the Tennessee Titans should be retiring Warren Moon's number one. Just to be honest, it's not the Houston Oilers.
It should have been you should really kind of consider that a new organization or a different organization.
But if I'm Warren Moon, I probably am happy that they're celebrating me. But I mean, if I'm Warren Moon, I'm also I'm probably angry that they moved the team that I loved out of the city where I played for them.
Yeah. But, Warren Moon, to me, was really the guy that really kind of broke a lot of barriers for quarterbacks. He wasn't the first black quarterback, but he was one that really who had to go to Canada to play quarterback and then thrived. Not only did he thrive at the college level, he thrived at the CFL level too, and then came and played in the National Football League. But I
think the difference in Warren Moon was, because you had Randall Cunningham basically at the same time. Randall Cunningham was known, even though he had a strong arm and could sling it and all the above, he was known as a great athlete who was playing quarterback, right? And he could throw it well, don't get me wrong, but he was known as a great athlete. Warren Moon broke the barrier of you can be a black quarterback and you can be a pocket passer and you can be known for your strong arm and your smarts of reading the defense and all those things. I don't necessarily feel like people felt that way about Randall Cunningham, but they did about Warren Moon. And so people like Patrick Mahomes, who are black quarterbacks and yes, athletic, but it's not about I'm going to run around, I'm going to take off. It's about I'm going to sit in the pocket, I'm going to pick defenses apart, all of that. That's more of a Warren Moon style than the black quarterback who is a great athlete and can outrun people and do all of that. And so I think that's where people started trusting black quarterbacks to be, hey, this guy can run a NFL type offense and it not just be about his athleticism.
Yeah, and Moon is 6 years older than Randall Cunningham, so he came first. The first black quarterback was James Harris, who played for the Los Angeles Rams way, way, way back in the day. But Moon was a guy who wanted to play quarterback in the NFL, but was told he wasn't going to play quarterback, so he went to the CFL and then went from the CFL and then came to the Oilers. And as far as Lawrence Taylor's concerned, he basically just said, "Hey, I want Abdul Carter to create his own legacy." Abdul Carter's number in college was 11. That number is also retired by the Giants because of Phil Simms. So he wasn't trying to, and I think he was trying to be 56 because that's the kind of, he's a defensive player and he's an edge rusher and all those kinds of things.
I almost feel like you shouldn't ask, right? I mean, the organization retired the number. Don't make the guy look bad by asking. Mm-hmm. There's a reason it's retired. Now, if he calls you up and says, "Hey, will you wear my number?" Yeah, that's different.
Totally different deal. I'm with you on that. I'm completely with you on that. And I think people understand where Lawrence Taylor's coming from, and I think Abdul Carter understands where he's coming from.
Is he coming from jail?
Probably should be, right?
Your daily dose of sports and fun. This is the Morning Drive Podcast from Double T 97.3, presented by Cantex Roofing and Construction. It's the Morning Drive on Double T 97.3. Hey, Chuck.
What time is it?
It's 7:15 this morning here on the Morning Drive. That little indicator means, Jamie, and we will do this moving forward every morning at 6:45-ish, and we'll do it again at 8:45 and also at 4:45. It's our lucky local winning word from Double T 97.3 and the Home Zone, helping you make your house a home, as we'll give away local weekly cash of $500 every Tuesday and Thursday to lucky local listeners just like you. It all totals up to $10,000. And then we'll give away a final $2,500 on Thursday, June the 26th. It's our local cash giveaway, totaling $10,000 with the Home Zone, helping you make your house a home, and Double T 97.3. Your lucky local winning word that you go to doublet97.3.com and enter it. Go to doubletsportsnetwork.com and enter it in is 76ers. 76ers, 76 ERS. Is how that's spelled. Like, I'm sure if you put in 76ers and spelled it out, Jamie would would sign off on it. But that's
you'd be all right.
You'd be all right. But that conventionally 76ers, for those that aren't in the know, 76ERS. Go to doubleTSportsNetwork.com, enter that in, and you could find yourself with some extra cash. And who couldn't use extra cash, right? JT Toppin.
So there's probably athletes on campus that are just sick of having all this money.
I think when you have a lot of money, you're still looking to make some more.
Yeah,
right?
That's fair.
All right. We will have Red Raider Baseball with Tim Tadlock on the air tonight. That's from 6 until 7. Any guess as to kind of what his take on things is, Jamie?
His take on things would be probably be happy with the way his team pitched this weekend.
Mm-hmm.
Probably be happy with the way that the offense is getting great contribution up and down the lineup. If you look at the weekend stats, I think you had 5 different guys, maybe 6, that had either 5 or 6 hits.
Okay.
So it wasn't about just one guy.
Mm-hmm.
And so that speaks to there's, length in the lineup and making it difficult for, a pitcher to navigate through the bottom of the lineup or whatever. And so, so he would probably talk about those things. Of course, he's not going to talk too much about Peyton Schultz because he, Coach Tadlock's he doesn't want to jinx guys.
Okay.
Or he doesn't, he doesn't want to sing crazy amounts of praises without, And
Peyton had 5 hits this past weekend, and he was one of them.
Yeah. But there were, Hughes was huge this weekend. Bravo was huge this weekend. There's just a lot of different guys.
Tracer Lopez as well. Yeah.
Tracer's done that's another thing. We haven't talked a lot about that, but moving Tracer to the top of the lineup when Kyler Thompson got sick and Tracer has flourished there. He's really done well. He's hitting above 400 in the leadoff spot. And he was in the 250-ish before that. And so he's gone on a nice streak as well. Yeah. He's picked up his game. Really nice to see.
Let's see. So let me get this straight. Jamie leaves town and doesn't do radio, and we win a series. Jamie, thoughts on that? That's
all accurate.
we still. I mean, let's not make this a habit though. Because unless the superstitious person in you says, "Oh, hey, let's do it again."
Well, what happened on the first series that I missed?
Don't know.
We lost 2 of 3.
Okay, so now you're even.
We should have won 2 of 3.
And that leads to this question. It feels like the Parker Hutera injury. It feels like you're a Parker Hutera injury away from a different season. If you have him, you feel like you win 50% or better of those late blown games, and are now sitting in the top 3 or 4 of the Big 12.
Well, I mean, I figured it out last week. Whatever the fact of the matter is, you've blown 4 leads that you've had in the 7th inning or later, and you lost a game that you were tied in the 7th by 6 runs. So that's 5 games right there. Let's say you win 3 of those 5.
Mm-hmm.
And Parker would have been huge in those 3. And all Big 12 games, mind you. Okay, so you would be sitting at 13-8 in Big 12 play, and your RPI obviously would have been much higher.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, because you would have had a win over Kansas State. You would have had a win over Arizona State. You would have had a win over Cincinnati. All those teams are in front of you in the Big 12 state. Well, you're actually tied with Cincinnati, but the other 2 are in front of you. So at 13-8, your RPI is much higher. Your overall record, that would get you to 18-21, feeling like you had a chance to get above 500.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and a great chance to be in the top 4 to get bye in the first round of the Big 12 tournament, and then you only have to win 3 games.
Yeah.
And so the challenge or the task would have been, not nearly as tough. But I mean, that's life, right?
Sure.
And I mean, and I would tell you that, if you had TJ Pompey back, if you had him, you would have probably been able to win some of those close games too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But like you said, I mean, that's
baseball.
That's baseball, and that's life. Paul says this: thankful for the family that paid to get Texas Tech a softball Big 12 championship.
Yeah, no doubt.
It's accurate. I mean, the players still have to execute. I mean, you can go out and quote buy players or buy a team, but you still have to execute and you still have to coach them. So congratulations to the Red Raiders uplifting.
Today's college sports, that's what you have to do.
Yeah, that's what you have to do.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
If you're winning at the highest level, then you're going to have to compete financially.
Mm-hmm.
Period.
No doubt.
And that's what we're doing with softball, and that's what we're doing with football and men's basketball.
Yeah. Dear Chuck, how are you? I am fine. I wanted to give a big guns up for the return music that you've played this morning. That credit goes to Jeff McGuire. You've had Kings of Leon, Red Hot Chili Pepper, and Steal My Sunshine by L.E.N. Is that right? L.E.N., is that how you say it? Okay. It's a great start to the Monday. Thank you for the 90s and 2000s alternative rock that you give us. Gordo. P.S. Tell Jamie Lent and one Jeff McGuire that Gordo says hello.
Hello, Gordo.
Hi, Gordo. I would take credit, but it's just been the rotator today.
I love Gordo's messages to us.
Me too. I'm a fan.
Yeah. If you didn't hear, Micah Hudson's coming back to the fold for Texas Tech. And this texter says, just to chime in about Micah Hudson, I agree that people deserve second chances, and good on him for eating crow once he realized the grass was not greener on the other side. Let's be realistic in the fact that the coaches will put up with a lot of BS for talent that will help them win. Yeah, but at any rate, it's good for him to come back. So that's great. It's great. And somebody asked this question. I think you answered it. Jamie, do you think the only chance that Tech has of postseason baseball is winning the Big 12 tournament?
Again, if you went 12, you'd have to go 12-2 to get to 500 before the end of the regular season.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, possible, yes. Likely, no. Okay, so first off, if you did that, you would have an RPI good enough to be in. Okay. So, but is it likely that you're going to go 12-2? Not really. So, you would at that point it means you got to win the Big 12 tournament.
Yeah. Let's see here. I had this. Speaking of Big 12 basketball, I mean, you got a signee over the weekend, and this is a guy that had committed to you already. So, I don't know that it's really great big news, but the center for Texas Tech has. I say the center. You've now officially signed Luke Bamboye. He's going to be the center. He's officially signed with the Red Raiders for the 25-26 season. 6'10" sophomore from London, United Kingdom. He was third in the Atlantic 10 last season. 75 block shots, 2 per ball game. Ranks second amongst all freshmen in the nation with his 75 blocks, and tied for 17th among all players with his blocks per average in games. So good for that. With regard to Luke Bamboye signing for Grant McCaslin in the upcoming basketball season.
This is the Morning Drive Podcast from Double T 97.3, presented by Cantex Roofing and Construction. Jamie's question of the day on Double T 97.3 is brought to you by Connecticut of West Texas.
Shedeur Sanders did something this weekend? Was he in the headlines this weekend? I didn't see his name in the headlines anyway.
Yeah. Shedeur
Sanders,
yeah.
He did something?
Yeah, he did get drafted.
I didn't even notice. And did they talk about him at all?
They did, quite a bit.
Did they?
Yeah, quite a bit.
Didn't even know. Did he take a number 1?
No.
Number 2?
No. He went all the way to 5.
No, he went to the 5th round.
Yeah,
He didn't go to number 5.
Yeah, the 5th round, right.
Oh, my gosh, they were beating that dead horse this weekend. Holy cow.
No doubt.
You couldn't watch anything sports-related in it and not be some other analyst wanting to talk about Shedeur.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll get to Jamie's question of the day. Okay, so the draft did just happen.
Mm-hmm.
And I heard Shedeur Sanders did not go right off the bat.
He did not.
That's the rumor I'm hearing.
You missed my draft analysis on Friday of the suits and stuff too. Unless you were tuned in on the Double T 97.3 mobile app presented by
Missed.
Happy Steak Bank.
Missed it's a term.
Yeah.
Didn't hear accurate. Missed not really accurate. Not really that interested.
It was.
Suits.
I mean, it was top notch, man.
That's good. That's good. Okay, so my question for you guys today is we saw Caleb Rogers go off the board first for the Red Raiders this past weekend in the third round to the Las Vegas Raiders. Man, a lot of Red Raiders going to the Raiders.
Oh, no, I hate that. I hate that.
Awesome. It's awesome. And so my question to you guys is, who do you think will be the first Red Raider taken off the board in next year's NFL draft? And I'm going to take one away from you.
Baron Morton, you can take that one away from me?
No.
Okay. Who
David Bailey.
Oh, David Bailey. That's probably a good one to take away.
Baron Morton.
No, it's just...
I mean, you don't even think he's going to play this year, Chuck.
I think he's going to play. I'm just concerned that... I just have some concerns there. I mean, I think those are fair concerns.
Am I right or wrong in thinking that David Bailey is the easy money there? Did you guys agree with that, or did I jump out of turn there?
No,
because I'm no expert.
I think you're right on that. But now I'm trying to. Okay, now, because see, there were so many edge rushers and offensive linemen taken this past year, and and very hardly any quarterbacks, early on. I mean, I know the number one overall went to a quarterback in Cam Ward, but just the quote sexy picks were not as sexy this year because they were just kind of there. Wow, I think that's a hard question.
Okay, well, I'm sorry.
No, that's okay. That's all right. Jeff, do you have one that comes off the top of your head? Because some of these guys we're just getting to know them, right?
I mean, I'm kind of looking. Well, I know exactly where I'm going with this. And I'm a little upset that it just didn't immediately pop out to me. I'm going to go Jacob Rodriguez. Bounce back year, senior year, linebacker. Always use those kind of guys in the NFL. I'm going to go with him.
I don't think Jacob Rodriguez needs to have a bounce back year. I think you're thinking of Ben Roberts.
I am thinking of Ben Roberts.
I know. I get those two confused too.
They play the same position so very well.
Well, Rodriguez was awesome this year. So
yeah.
I'm going to say if he is healthy, okay, because of his size and his position, that Hunter Zambrano, the 6'5", 305 transfer at offensive line, could go high. And there's also the defensive lineman. I'll say Zambrano.
Okay. I'm going with Lee Hunter, a guy that is one of the top tacklers behind the line of scrimmage
that's
in
a
the
good
country.
One.
I think he gets after the quarterback. He makes plays in the backfield. A run stuffer. I think Hunter should have a huge impact for you this upcoming season. And so I think he'll be the first one off the board as far as Red Raiders go. Now, let me ask you a question. I guess Jeff already answered this one, but so I have to ask Chuck. If we're picking a guy who started his career as a Red Raider, who are you going with?
Then maybe you're probably Jacob Rodriguez.
Okay.
Just the numbers on Lee Hunter, 6'4", 325. Yeah. So, I mean...
Yeah, great defensive tackles are hard to find. I think he's going to be sought after by NFL teams.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think Jacob Rodriguez. Would you stick with Jacob Rodriguez then? Because you went with him. I didn't know if you'd have a different answer, if there was a different thought that you would have as an original one.
I don't.
And you know what? Upon further review, thank you, Choice Woodman, Jacob Rodriguez didn't start at Texas Tech. He started at Virginia.
That's right.
Choice. Thank you, Choice.
Yep, that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Man, that seems like 100 years ago.
It does seem like 100 years ago.
Yeah.
I mean, it seems like you're going to have to go a long ways to find that answer in terms of who would be the one that started with you that is still with you. Because, I mean,
the hard part is the offensive lineman. I can't remember who started with us and who didn't. That's really difficult for me.
Somebody says this: Howard Sampson or Hunter, Lee Hunter, whom you said.
Yeah, that would be. Neither one of them started here with us, but that would be for my first question.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I don't even know for the second.
Sampson he's a large man too, 6'8", 340.
Yeah, that's an understatement with Sampson.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just so hard kind of figuring out who's on first right now, right?
Ultimately, it doesn't matter. No, I mean, what I mean is it doesn't matter where they started their career. They're here now.
Right. Yeah.
They're here now. They're going to help you now.
Yeah.
But it's just, you just see that so many of the transfer guys are going to be the guys that are going to be at the top of your depth chart.
Yeah.
The Morning Drive podcast from Double T 97.3 is presented by Cantex Roofing and Construction.
Drive, thank you for being with us. Jamie, Jeff, and I come to you from the First United Bank studio. Take your thoughts, comments this morning on the Yates Flooring Center chat line, the Visual Edge IT hotline as well. The three of us come to you from the First United Bank studio here in downtown Lubbock. Got some nice rain yesterday, so if you did as well and you want to share with us or overshare, you certainly can. We understand all that. If you have something terrific that happened this past weekend and you want to share that, you can. Or, something, if you had an epic fail this past weekend, you can share that as well. Maybe you wrecked your jalopy or you, painted your house and then all of a sudden the rain came and the paint just went all the way to your sidewalk. That'd be bad.
That's fun.
That would not be fun. The Red Raider softball team took the Big 12 yesterday, or over the weekend, Saturday, I should say. They won a doubleheader on Saturday to clinch the Big 12 title. They lost yesterday. Just this quick thought, Jamie, and get your thought on this. Somebody says this: I'm worried the loss yesterday will keep us from hosting a regional, even though I have zero doubt we're one of the top 16 teams, but it seems they'll treat the SEC like the NCAA tournament did and let the 10th place SEC team host over us.
First off, I would tell you I have no idea what's going on in the SEC with softball. I know that Oklahoma is now in the SEC, so I just assume they have the best team.
Okay. Yeah. And I'm not going to position myself as any kind of...
Yeah, there's my knowledge of softball. I know your RPI has been hovering around 20, so you're in that mix. You would like to think that winning the Big 12 conference kind of going away would help you in that regard, but as far as will you be one of the regional hosts, I don't know. But probably have a little bit more work to do. I don't think you would be confident by any stretch of feeling like you're going to get to host, but obviously you're right there on the border, so any wins and losses can affect that greatly.
Yeah, so we'll see. I mean, there's still time for you too. I mean, there's still time for you to. I mean, you've got not only the rest of the season, but you got the Big 12 postseason tournament. So there's time to you don't want to go backwards now that you've won and go, oh hey, la-di-da, but there's still a lot to play for.
When you've spent the kind of money that you have had on the program, probably winning a Big 12 championship is not enough. You would think there were higher expectations.
Yeah, I think a deep run in the NCAA tournament is certainly the expectation. Some had said, make it to the College Softball World Series. So we'll see. We'll see if that how that transpires. All right, from the NFL draft, you probably know that Taj Brooks picked in the 6th round on Saturday, and Jalen Conyers picked in the 3rd round on Friday. And then, Caleb Rogers picked on Friday. Jalen Conyers and Josh Kelly both signed free agent contracts as they're going to have an opportunity to play at the next level. Josh Kelly signing with the Dallas Cowboys, and Conyers signed with the Miami Dolphins. I don't know how either fits in.
I'd like to think Josh Kelly's got a good shot.
Yeah, I would think so.
Cowboys have some needs there at the wide receiver position.
Yeah, and he had 1,023 receiving yards, 89 receptions, 5 touchdowns. He was the first 1,000-yard receiver since Antoine Wesley, who had a career in the NFL. And then Conyers, he averaged almost 11 yards per reception. He had 30 receptions for the Red Raiders last year and 5 touchdowns. So as a tight end, both of those guys having an opportunity. Speaking of tight end, Mason Tharp has gotten a camp invite with Houston, and then C.J. Baskerville a camp invite with Denver. So, and then Braylon Lux has signed as well with Cincinnati. So that's the latest that I know on that. So that kind of gives you an opportunity or a look at where guys are headed. With regard to the grades are in from some of the experts, depending on who you want to look at. So got a couple of different sources here. One is from Sports Illustrated. They're credible, right?
Sure.
Okay. Feels like they've been diminished since you don't get a Sports Illustrated every week, but that's been quite some time. They give the Cowboys a B+. Okay.
Okay.
So they some didn't necessarily like the pick of Tyler Booker in the 1st round, a guard, feeling that that he might have been a guy that you could have traded down for and still gotten in the 1st round, and maybe picked up some extra choices.
What if nobody wanted to move up?
Yeah, and that was the problem.
Yeah,
that was the problem. Nobody wanted to trade. So the Cowboys also selected an edge rusher, a cornerback, the running back, Jadon Blue from Texas. Folks here would have liked to have seen Taj Brooks go there instead of Mr. Blue from Texas. He went in the 5th round, the 149th pick. They selected a linebacker, an offensive tackle, a defensive tackle, another running back in the 7th round, and a defensive tackle in the 7th round. So the analysis was this from Sports Illustrated. Dallas found a different way to help Dak Prescott and CeeDee Lamb without adding to a thin group of skill players early in the draft. Cowboys opted to do what they do best, drafting an offensive lineman in the 1st round. Booker will replace retired Zach Martin. Dallas could again have one of the best offensive lines in the league, with Booker joining fellow 1st-round selections Tyler Guyton from last year and Tyler Smith from 2022. The Cowboys have also had good success drafting cornerbacks, perhaps a good sign for the 1st-round pick for the 3rd-round pick, Siobhan Revel from East Carolina, whom they signed, and probably would have been a 1st-round talent, but has injury concerns.
Okay.
So a B+. That's what they give him. Now, ESPN and Mel Kiper, boy, did he doubled down all weekend long on Shedeur Sanders. He kept him as his top player on the available draft until truly the bitter end. So we'll get you the Kiper analysis next, and get Jamie's take on Mr. Sanders next as well. It is 8:10. You'll hear Red Raider Baseball with Tim Tadlock tonight at 6 on Double T 97.3. The Rangers and the Sacramento A's tonight at 7. After the High School Fan Zone on 100.7 The Score, you'll hear the Astros and the Detroit Tigers. The High School Fan Zone will feature coaches from Coronado, Estacado, Lubbock High, and Monterey High School on 100.7.
This has been the Morning Drive Podcast, presented by Cantex Roofing and Construction. Check out our library of Double T 97.3 podcasts at doublet97.3.com.